What's going on, everyone? Let me get a 5x5. You can hear me. Internet's kind of spotty right now. Had to loop it through the phone just to get on here. So if you can see me and you can hear me, let me know. Should be able to. 55. That works. 1955. Back to the future. Okay. Relax. Everything is okay, right? Just keep repeating that shit. Everything will be okay. Uh, if you didn't catch it tonight, Native had a live stream. I don't know if he's done yet or not, but go check his out. He was talking some good stuff tonight. Chaos Prepper, Dome Seeker, how you doing? Backcountry Preps, Black Cat, Whirly Gig, Teresa, thank you for being here. Peter Wilson, thank you. Uncle Charlie, sleeping, time to go to sleep. Yes, depending on where you're at or how old you are, might be time to go to sleep, or are you being hypnotized? Is that what it is? Is that what the snoozing is? Glad you can all be here. Now, I've heard lots of channels today talking about we're going to war here, we're going to war there. They're talking about Ukraine again, and people are always talking about they were talking about Chinese soldiers, or pardon me, military age males coming across the southern border. But I look at the long term. I look at a few months, and I try to see who we're going to pick a fight with. All right, because something to take into consideration is that since World War II, all right, the U.S. government has not been to war directly with a major global power. Okay, since World War II, and after World War II, we developed nuclear weapons, and typically your major global powers have nuclear weapons. So we haven't gone toe to toe with any of them, and probably won't for the foreseeable future, just because nuclear weapons could come into play. No, we like proxy wars. We like proxy wars. We love proxy wars. Now, the closest power on the planet to becoming a global power, a nuclear power, is Iran. We all know this. They're the ones who are developing weapons of mass destruction. Where have I heard that before? Weapons of mass destruction. I don't know. I'm sure somebody out there knows. But we've heard that before. But the reason I believe, now I could be wrong. I am wrong once in a while. Okay. The reason I believe that we will go to war with Iran fairly soon is the buildup, the conditioning of you, of me, of everyone else out there. What was happening in let's look at Ukraine. Ukraine's fighting Russia. But who were the bad guys? Who were bad guys that were mentioned? Now let's take the Russians out. Let's take the Ukrainians out. Iran. All right. We heard a lot about Iranian supplied drones in the Ukraine war. All right. Who's been, according to the U.S. government, backing Hamas? Again, they're pointing the finger over at Iran. Who's backing Hezbollah in Lebanon? Iran. The Houthi rockets that were shot at U.S. ships. They were 10 miles away where they hit. So I don't know how near something has to be a near miss. But 10 miles is pretty. Walk that, okay? Walk that. I mean, if I'm here and you shoot it, blow something up 10 miles away, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be okay. So it's all subjective. But again, who supplied those rockets, or who's backing those rebels? Iran. The government, our government, has been spending a lot of time pointing at the boogie ran. Okay, the boogie ran, like the boogeyman. See that? I just made that up here. Copyright it. No, I'm just kidding. Feel free to use that. The boogie ran. Okay, so they've already been conditioning the population to, oh, Iran bad. We got to stop them before more shit goes wrong. All right. They could close the Straits of Hormuz. They could cut off our oil supply, force us to buy electric cars, all that crazy shit. Yeah. Oh, there's even been talk of Iranians being found at the southern border. How many sleeper cells? Well, they're not talking about Chinese sleeper cells when they say that. When the average American thinks of sleeper cells, what do they think of? They think of Middle Eastern. Let's be honest, racists. You're always thinking the brown little desert man's going to blow you up. It's conditioning. All right. Now, all they need after enough conditioning is either A, allowing the opportunity to unfold. Okay, well, we know there are people that would like to come in. So you can kind of just step out of their way and let it happen, and then you have a legitimate reason. Or option B, you allow them in. They don't actually do anything because once they get here, they're like, man, they got air conditioning. There's 200 channels on TV. This place is pretty cool. They got Starbucks and shit. I'm going to have me a latte and not blow myself up. And so then someone in the government goes, well, you know what? If we just blow something up and say it was them, the American people will still go along with it. So be looking. Hey, Patricia, how are you? Haven't seen you in a long time. Haven't heard from you. I haven't checked emails either. I know you sent me an email a while back, like months ago. I'm really bad about emails. I'm sorry. Anyway, I digress, as John would say. Be looking. Anticipate a false flag. Anticipate a non-false flag, an actual attack. Something there has to be a trigger event. There has to be a trigger event to justify War Powers Act, whatever, to invade. All right, to go in and jack some shit up. All right. Now, why would they want to do that? Well, as I've said before, money. It's all about money. Now, our economy, as most of you know, but not according to the news, is not doing that great. Our dollar has lost massive traction on the global stage. Okay. Thailand, for example, when I first started going to Thailand, it was 44 of their dollars to make one of ours. Now it's like 28 of their dollars to make one of ours. Their culture, their economy has not improved in that time span. All right. Their dollar, their baht, the Thai baht, has not gained that much strength in the time that I first started going there. Our dollar has lost the value and therefore offsetting it. All right. Same way with, you just look at Mexico, the peso. There was a time when it was like 36, 38, 40 pesos per dollar. Not anymore. Not anymore. Our currency has been devalued. Their currencies haven't improved. They're still the same shit it was back 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Ours has dropped. Okay. And the fastest way, let's back that up a little bit. And we have all these other countries talking about, let's take the world reserve currency and make it something other than US dollar. We're talking about BRICS all last year, BRICS, the BRICS nations, all this. All right. Now we've got Vladimir Putin flying into Saudi Arabia, making deals with the royal family, cozying up to them. They've been cozying up to China. Things are looking bad. And there's two ways. There's two ways for the US dollar to gain power. One, everybody wants the US dollar. Or two, everybody fears the US military. That's it. Okay. We are the number one supplier of weapons on the planet. We might have outsourced everything to China, Brazil, Taiwan, everything, but weapons, we are the dogs of war. It's what we do. So our economy is a war-based economy. We thrive in war times. Okay. Our, the oil field thrives. Manufacturing thrives. Yes, there are sometimes downsides, especially on a global scale, because the people have to have their shit rationed. But the war machine does not. The war machine take, and then the economy starts to ramp up, starts to improve. All right, we've seen it in every major conflict. War makes this country a lot of money, so we're going to go to war. It's going to be either that or we're going to implode. And the people at the top, the crime syndicate families, the Clintons, the Bidens, the Bushes, the Cheneys. God, Dick Cheney made so much money off of war. It's ridiculous. Although they have the ability to just take their money and go change it into other currency and move to the Swiss Alps or whatever, they aren't going to do that because it's not in their nature. It's not in there. They are warmongers. All right. If they make their money off war, they will continue to make their money off war. And since that's what we do, they will just roll us right into a war. So it's coming. It's coming. But they need a trigger event. They need an excuse that the American people will get behind, at least of the majority. All right. 51% of the American people. And I mean, the American people aren't that easy to do, aren't that difficult to dupe. Okay. Most of them aren't like you. Most of them aren't like me, where we go, well, yeah, that shit's kind of jacked up. That probably wasn't them, but we're going to go to war with them anyway. So there's nothing we can do about it. There's literally nothing we can do about it. So don't worry about it. Everything will be okay. All right. Up until it's not. What's everybody saying in the chat there? It's ABC Patriot. Hey, ABC Patriot, how you doing? Pilgrim, I heard Gilly Bates makes $11 million a day. Oh, I'm sure they just make ridiculous amounts of money. Yeah, they make ridiculous amounts of money. They just the interest off of their money. Imagine the interest that you would get off of, I don't know, $1 billion worth of assets in a day. Just, I mean, you can live off of that. Okay, Savage Lee says every generation of American has seen a war. Not one entire generation has come and gone without one. Black, we ain't been in at it long enough yet. That's his passive income. You're correct. We see some war, but like all the wars that the past few generations have seen have been small ones back until World War II. They've all been small. They've been conflicts technically, except for I think Korea, who we're still at war with. All right, we're just in a ceasefire. We are technically still at war with North Korea. I mean, technically, yes, that's a fact. But conflicts, and there are always proxy wars. There are always conflicts where we're fighting somebody else because we're trying to stop either Russia or China. All right. I mean, Vietnam, prime example. All right. We were fighting communism. Vietnam, North Vietnamese was backed by Russia and China. All right. Korea, China. All right. Proxy wars. We kicked out Lizzo. Not sure who you're talking about. Their YouTube keeps shadow banning Jack. Who among us has not lived in wartime? Yeah, I mean, yeah, we've all been in, they call them conflicts. I call them wars, but we're not in wartime right now. All right. We're not sending troops over. We're not, well, yes, you are use small ones here and there, special operations. It's always going around the globe doing something. But the war machine is basically sitting idle right now. It's sitting there just idling its engines, waiting for the go. I mean, look at the military. Their recruitment numbers are so low right now. I'm talking draft size, all right, to where they're going to conscript soldiers from the population, all right? that could very easily happen, especially if we get, if we get into a war in Iran right now or within the next 2 years. Don't have the bodies for it. And then uh, I was watching just because I hadn't watched in a while. I watched Red Dawn the other night. All right, not the new one, the old school one with Patrick Swayze and Charlie Sheen. Yeah, and I never really paid too much attention to it, but they were talking about how at the beginning it talks about how the U.S. ended up standing alone because whatever all these other factions were going on around the world. If you watch it and you read the beginning of it, it tells you everything about the movie, about the events that led up to the Red Dawn scenario. And a lot of it is eerily what's going on today. All right. These other nations backing away from the US dollar, all kinds of events happening down in South and Central America. I mean, right now, Venezuela is getting ready to invade Guyana and take part of their country. They even announced that, don't worry, any Guyanese citizen that is in the territory we take will automatically be granted Venezuelan citizenship. So there's all kinds of weird shit going on, and an invasion at the southern border, coming right up through the middle. All we're missing from the Red Dawn scenario is them tactically nuking a couple major cities on the east and west coast, and then dropping in from the north, where China was training in Canada. So it's not. It's weird that it's starting to look like it's plausible. Savagely says Red Dawn won't start by enemies falling under a parachute. They'll be hopping out of Toyotas. Yes, the Toyota Hilux, the preferred vehicle of your enemy. Yeah, with little mounts in the back. Toyotas and Nissans are like vicious when it comes to the battlefield. They're fast, they're nimble. You can arm the shit out of them. Quote from my DS: the draft is only legal when there's no war. Conflicts don't count. Are only illegal when there's no war. Conflicts don't count. Yes, and that's why they need a trigger event. They need a reason to say, we're going to war. Okay? And as far as legality, illegality, if you think that the people at the top give a shit about illegality or legality, then you are absolutely out of your fucking mind. Okay? Because they don't. There's different laws for them than there are for you. They can do what they want to do. And if you don't like it, you can try and say something, but they can just have men come and put guns in your faces. Everybody's always, oh, well, if the blue helmets come. I get frustrated. I get psychologically exhausted when I hear people talking about if the blue helmets come here, if the blue helmets. They didn't need the blue helmets to lock you down during COVID. They didn't need the blue helmets to put up checkpoints at Florida and Georgia and New York during COVID. So why would you think that they need blue helmets at any other time? The blue helmets are already here. They're the blue. So keep backing them, okay? Back your oppressors. Back the people that when you say, oh, well, it's not legal for them to do that, but they're doing it. Who's enforcing it? Who's enforcing the shit that I know, that we know is illegal for them to do? Who's enforcing that shit? You see them every day on the highway sitting there waiting to generate revenue by pulling you over with the little radar guns. Those are the people, like it or not. I mean, I hear people out there go, I back the blue. Well, good for you. Good for you. Good for you. You'll be the one that helps, that person still has guns in their house. That'll be you. Because the blue will say, hey, who's, you support us. Who's got those illegal bump stocks? Oh, that'd be John across the road. I seen him take one out of his car. He was talking about it at the barbecue. That'll be you. So there's that. But Read between the lines when they're telling you things on the news. Listen to what they're saying. There's been a lot of Iran over the past year and a half. All right. Iran's not the only country out there making drones that hurt people. All right. We make a lot of them too. So when one of those things takes out something in the U.S. and it comes across Iranian made drone attack this, all right, think back to this. Think back to this broadcast and go, bet you it wasn't. Can we sue all those who are not keeping their oath to protect the Constitution? Oh, yeah, sue them. Yeah, good luck with that. Go just hop right into their judicial system and let me know how that works out for you. No. Savagely, you miss your bump stock. Bump stocks were overrated. I mean, honestly, fully automatic is overrated. Fully automatic is only good for suppressive fire. That's it. That's it. Keeping heads down while other people reload or take precision aim. All right. That's all they're good for. That's all. You know, if you're going full auto, you need belt fed. All right. You need a 249, M60. You need the Modus, General Electric minigun. You need belt fed shit. Ghost Prepper says, you are correct, Warlord. Thank you, Ghost. Chaos Prepper. Pardon me, Chaos Prepper. Need glasses. One will enforce it, son of the desert, but it's supposed to be able to take them out of office. One shot at a time. That's right. Or even two. Two is cool. If you can tack. Yeah, those are neat. Binary triggers. If you've never fired a binary trigger system, dude, it's awesome. You squeeze, it fires. You release, it fires again. All right. So bam, 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 bam. Each pull of the trigger, one round. Each action of the trigger, motion of the trigger. See, Tim Spa says they're fun. Yeah, they are. And they're, as far as, fully automatic, accuracy out the fucking window. Pardon me. Binary, yeah, you got some accuracy there. Bap, bap. It's fast. 240 Bravo, yes. Belt fed 308. That's basically what he's talking about. I always forget 240. All right, I've been out for a few years now. 240. Which one shoots 5.56 and which one shoots 7.62 308 round? 240. The 240 is the 249 is the saw. It shoots 5.56, I believe, and the 240 is the M60. Or do I have those backwards? I always flip them in my head. 249 is 5.56, yes. And I did like that one because it also had, you had the belt fed, but you could also jam a magazine, a regular 30-round magazine into the side of it from a rifle. Give me that off, shove it in there, and keep on rocking. Of course, you rock pretty gone. 7.62 is M60, and that's the 240 Bravo. 249 is the 5.56 caliber rounds. But they're both good suppressive fire tools. Okay, I remember back in my day when I first fired the M60, they still had the quick release for the barrel. You could spin the barrel off, drop it, put the new barrel on. That way you didn't melt the barrel. Battle rifle 308. Yeah, that's a hell of a battle rifle. Carried the pig. Don't forget the extra barrel. That's what I was just talking about, KY. They would, we'd quick release the barrel and put the new barrel on. See, y'all like talking about those weapons of war. Open borders is the tell. Yeah, it's a good way to get people in that can be used as fall guys. Or just simply, like I said, allow something negative to happen. I mean, son of the desert said he burned his fingers badly with the stupid barrel change. It was barrel. People don't understand how hot. You have special gloves to change those barrels out. Yeah, it was still fun though. Yes, I had one. Back when I was still in where I was rocking on the 50. I mean, I was and I believe the caption of the video I had made at the time, I don't even know what happened to that video. Uh, Basically, I said the private was like, Sarge, I see Hillary supporters, and I was like, don't worry, I got this. It was a pretty cool little video. YouTube didn't like it. I think that was on my first YouTube channel where I got permanently banned from YouTube, and they were like, "We're deleting all of your shit in the next 30 days." All right. Well, I want you to pay attention to those things, and always listen when they're telling you that somebody is a bad guy. Do some digging, check, and make sure that we're not the ones that are poking the bear. All right. Because it happens quite a lot. It happens quite a lot. We start a lot of shit. Our government does, just because war makes them money and keeps them in power. And all these people that are like, oh, well, uh, 2024, Trump's going to come in and save us all. I would be surprised if they let him make it that far. Remember, you probably heard it here first, but first, they try to shadow ban him from everything. Now they're destroying his, trying to destroy his character and his freedom. If they fail at that, that leaves them one final alternative. And John F. Kennedy found out what that was. So, if you think that they're going to allow him to drain the swamp, I just don't see it. I mean, it'd be awesome. It'd be awesome to see him get in there and on day one start just wrecking shit. But God willing, he lives that long. I mean, all right. Y'all have a good night. God bless. And I'll talk to you again soon. I'm out.